This was the scene inside Seattle City Hall moments ago. Hundreds of peaceful protesters took over the building along with City Council member Kshama Sawant.
They marched down from Capitol Hill after a rally led by Sawant on the 12th night of protests against racial injustice and police brutality.
KOMO's Jonathan Cho starts our live team coverage with the protesters who just left City Hall. Jonathan, where are they now?
Well, they're back here at the East Precinct. What an evening of twists and turns. Hundreds of protesters are still here. But earlier this evening, in a bold move orchestrated by Councilmember Kshama Sawant, more than 1,000 protesters entered City Hall.
Who's City Hall? Our City Hall! Who's City Hall? Our City Hall! Who's City Hall? Our City Hall!
Now, she opened the doors and has been marching with them all night. Authorities say they were caught off guard and had no idea. And because it was peaceful, there was no need to respond. Now, demonstrators spent more than an hour talking about defunding the Seattle Police Department, banning chemical weapon use by police, and taxing Amazon. Sawant even said she wants to turn the now boarded up East Precinct into a community center. The evening started at Cal Anderson Park with a gathering by some estimates of more than 2,000 people. Several, including Sawant, passionately shared about why they were continuing to march and the work that still needs to be done. Again, going into City Hall was an impromptu move, catching even marchers off guard. They are here back at the East Precinct. For now, we are staying with them. That is the very latest. Live from Seattle, Jonathan Cho, KOMO News.
And we just got a statement from Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan's office on tonight's calls for her resignation. It says Mayor Durkan will not be distracted from the critical work that needs to be done at the moment that Seattle is facing its most challenging time in history. It goes on to say the city has so much healing work to do. That is where Mayor Durkan will continue to spend her focus in the coming days, weeks, and months ahead. Meantime, there's a new energy on Capitol Hill where protesters have gathered outside the Seattle Police East Precinct. In the last few minutes, they set up a projector to play a documentary. KOMO's Patrick Quinn live outside the boarded up precinct where crowds have taken over this corner of Capitol Hill. Patrick?
And Preston, with no signs of leaving. You ask a protester, they'll tell you the East Precinct is not property of the police at this point. In fact, we haven't seen a police officer all night long. 2 blocks in every direction in this part of Capitol Hill. It is blocked off. The mission to defund SPD is part of the Black Lives Matter movement. And the first thing protesters are taking over, the East Precinct.
I got shot in the chest with one of the flash grenades.
When Aubriana Inda relives the violence playing out in this video, the trauma comes right back.
I think I'm a lot more terrified right now.
You see her in the video standing on the front lines of a protest on Capitol Hill that escalated with police Sunday night.
And that was a portion of Tammy's story, which you'll hear about in just a few moments. I do want to wrap up just what we've noticed today. This is a different scene. If you've been on Capitol Hill, I've never seen anything like this. A lot of barricades, no police presence. They've taken over the East Precinct. If you talk with community leaders and demonstrators here, they'll tell you they have no plans to give it back or to have the police step back in and take over the precinct. They said it is theirs for the moment. In fact, they could maybe potentially occupy other buildings in the city. It has been extremely peaceful and organized from what we've seen. If you go in there, you'll see there are medics on the ground. There are legal aid members on the ground. They're handing out food and water. It's very peaceful. It's very organized. It's a commune-like setup. It is maybe hard to, it's new to see. I've never seen anything like this before, but we were hearing terms like anarchy and lawlessness, but I really didn't see anything in there. We'll have much more on this throughout the show and as we continue to watch this scenario play out over the next few days. Back to you.
Patrick, thank you. Tonight, KOMO confirmed that Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan signed an emergency order yesterday requiring officers to turn on their body cameras during demonstrations. We asked Seattle Police if that did start tonight. We're still waiting to hear back. The policy has been to turn off the cameras to protect the privacy of protesters, but the mayor says protesters want the cameras on to provide accountability.